the information superhighway, an online network called Internet.
It's my impression of, was that a Michael Jackson song?
I don't know.
The one that goes,
I don't know any. Oh. I feel bad. I don't think I've ever like listened to Michael Jackson.
Not like you haven't just absorbed Michael Jackson.
Not really.
Through pop culture.
Not really. No.
That's surprising.
I know. I feel bad. It was one of those things where like my brother really liked Michael Jackson, and so like growing up I had to hate the things that my brother liked. So I guess I just blocked it all out. I bet I would love his stuff if I were to actually listen to it.
The other day I fully processed like what the hell Michael Jackson got up to.
Yeah.
Such like just a strange thing. Like I just accepted that he was a black guy who was like, nah man, I'm good. It's so fucking weird when you think about it.
What do you mean? What specifics?
Just like he was like, I don't want to be black, and then he was just white.
I don't think that was his choice to do that.
What do you mean?
Didn't he have a condition?
No.
Did he not?
He got like plastic surgery and shit, I think.
I don't think that's accurate.
I'm pretty sure I don't think he woke up one day and was white.
No, but it was a gradual thing, right? Wasn't that why he always wore the glove? Because he was trying to hide it for a bit, and then it just kind of became a thing? I don't know.
Maybe, but if that's the case, I do remember hearing something about how like if that was going to happen over time, he had something done to him that made it like
sure to
just
kind of like
cement that.
Sure.
Let's see.
I don't know. But I'm going to go back in time and just reiterate that I don't know anything about Michael Jackson.
I don't know anything about him personally except for
I mean, I only hung out with him a bunch when I was a kid, but I don't remember much of that.
Michael.
Yeah.
Good old Mikey.
Good old Mikey J.
Trying to get specifics. It says
people are shouting at us because they know more than we do.
Do they? We have a pretty young demographic, I feel.
That's true, actually.
And
I just assume that everyone's smarter than I am.
That's fair. Let's see. Life and career.
Let's really dive in.
This is
the Michael Jackson biography episode.
Here, do an intro while I try and...
Hey everybody, welcome to the online podcast. My name is Dylan, your host. The only digital audio podcast distributed over the internet. I'm Delonda.
Here we go. Yahoo Answers.
I'm not actually Dylan. I'm the other one.
The other one. I'm
just straight up going to Yahoo Answers.
Scott. Yeah, it came up when I started Googling.
There you go. So. I used to spend way more time on Yahoo Answers than I should have when I was a kid.
This is perfect. Did Michael Jackson bleach his skin or have a skin disease?
Great.
Best answer.
Both.
This has been a question of heated debate for a long time now.
Oh no, we'll never know.
Let me present both sides of the story. And you decide for yourself.
You decide.
There is not a way of knowing the exact answer. He's dead.
Yeah.
And nobody really knows what happened. Here is the case for vitiligo, which is the skin disease.
Okay.
Below is the case for bleaching. My guess is at the bottom. Do we want to get into this?
Let's get into it, man. Let's dive in. Let's find out what really happened. This is going to be the thumbnail.
Yeah, I decided that like 5 minutes ago, even though we haven't been going for 5 minutes.
Let's go for it.
What does it say? Vitiligo. No, vitiligo. It's spelled differently throughout this.
Who cares?
I'll call it V.
V.
V is a relatively common skin disorder in which white spots or patches appear on the skin. These spots are caused by destruction or weakening of the pigment cells in those areas, resulting in the pigment being destroyed or no longer produced. In most cases, V is believed to be an autoimmune-related disorder. Although researchers are not exactly sure what causes the autoimmune response, more is being learned every year. In V, only the color of the skin is affected. The texture and other skin qualities remain normal. The idea of this condition, and supposedly for most people that do these cases, there is usually never anybody who has turned completely white from it. And it is very weird that Michael would and nobody else. But apparently in his early photos, there were patches of white on him or a lighter skin color.
Mm-hmm.
This would mean he was using makeup to cover his skin up, proving that he did have the disease.
Mm-hmm.
They also say that it would be him needing to bathe in it to get that much of a color if it was bleaching. Another thing, this disease could potentially cause this case, whereas bleaching, it is highly unlikely that he, a black-skinned person, would turn whiter than white people. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because every white person is the same skin complexion. Sorry, not trying to be racist or anything, but he is very white.
He's very white.
This suggests V much more than being white. Another thing, the disease was unknown when he was supposedly getting it. How would he know what it was when he told Oprah about it when he was accused of bleaching his skin? The disease was only known because of Michael. That's the case for V. The case for bleaching is much shorter.
Bleaching.
The biggest point here is his now picture. I guess he's referring to like a before and after picture.
Yeah, not like the right now picture of him like rotting in a grave.
Of a corpse.
Yeah.
Right. The disease usually gives a few patches of white. Why is his face completely white? Why isn't he not like everybody else who has the disease with some patches and some darker spots? Another motive for this is that during his child molest case, he was said he might.
What? Grammar issues?
Okay, grammar issues. I think he's trying to say that he was dyeing himself. He was bleaching his skin so he wouldn't be recognized. That's what he's trying to say here.
Oh, this is more of a conspiracy than like a okay.
Well, apparently he said that.
Oh, he
Michael
said
Jackson
it.
said that,
Oh,
according to
okay.
this Yahoo Answers guy.
Trustworthy source.
Who's called, from 9 years ago, Totally Radical Man.
Oh, man. That's where I get all my info from.
Another is that it has been released that he secretly was with his dermatologist many times, but for what, they don't know. So for Totally Radical Man's hot take on it, he says, he had the disease and bleached. He would get perfect skin like now and still have a reason for turning super white. Yeah, that's what I think.
That makes sense.
I think he had V and then was like just self-conscious about it. So
yeah,
I mean, full on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if bald people try to cling on to their hair when they could just shave it, you know?
Just go for it.
Just go for it. Just do it all. Like, yeah, naturally you're losing some, but also just go for it.
Just to interject, I have a theory about your hat.
My hat?
Yeah.
Go for it.
My current theory is that, because you shave your head a lot.
I do.
But my current theory is the last time you did it, you regretted it immensely. And you're slowly growing it back, and that's why you're wearing the hat.
No, I still shave it. It's still shaved. Do you want me to prove it?
No.
Okay. You don't want your theory to be busted?
I don't want to force you to take your hat off.
No,
although
it's
we are
fine.
inside,
We
so it's sort of rude to wear a hat inside.
See,
That's
okay,
all I'm
so
saying.
I heard that for the first time a couple months ago, and I was like, really? It's rude to wear a hat inside?
Apparently. I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know where that comes from either. I mean, I guess it comes from like really olden kind of times where it's like a sign of disrespect to like, I guess, wear a hat in someone else's establishment or whatever. It's like a Sopranos thing. There was like a scene in the Sopranos where like,
where does that come from?
What, the hat?
The hat
Let's
thing.
look it up.
I
Hat
want the
talk.
root of that, because like taking your shoes off, I get that, because you don't want to, drag dirt and shit
Sure.
around.
Should I have taken my shoes off?
No.
Okay.
I don't care. Well, I have wood floors, so
Oh, that's true.
it's not like it's gonna get in the carpet.
Yeah.
You could take them off if you want to be more comfortable. But
No, I'm fine. I'm comfortable in my shoes.
Scott's just ready to go at any moment.
I'm ready to bounce.
Yeah, he's just
In case things get heated.
heated.
Yeah.
I could heat it up.
No. But what was I gonna say? No, it's it's more so just that without hair on my head, I think it emphasizes how much of a tiny baby head that I have.
Sure.
So I like just having something to kind of fill it out. It helps, I think to make
you look
help
fine
proportion.
without the hat, but
Really?
that's to each his own.
I don't think I look good.
I said on a stream the other day, I streamed myself exporting something for 2.5 hours because I wanted to stream, but I had nothing to do except to wait for an export.
There you go.
So a majority of the stream was me looking at old thumbnails and just sort of talking about thumbnails. And I eventually got to your channel.
Mhm.
I didn't make the thumbnails, but I was just
You
talking
made
about
one,
how-
I think.
Did
at
I?
least one that I know
I
of.
made a Tales from the Comments one.
Yes, about Captain America being a Nazi.
Yeah.
Or not being a
That's
Nazi.
because you were taking a nap.
That's right.
Like, all right, I guess I'll make the thumbnail.
That's right.
But we got to a certain video and I clicked on it because I don't remember why, but I was like, there's my ideal Scott.
Well, what was it?
It was hatless Scott with big beard.
With big beard?
Yeah, that's my personal ideal Scott.
Yeah, you think so?
But hey, Scotts evolve.
Yeah.
They move on.
Was it still shaved head Scott, or was it with hair?
Yeah, it was shaved
Okay.
head Scott.
Fair enough.
It's a good Scott right there.
All right.
All right, I found a very long article on how stuff works
Yeah.
about the hat thing.
Okay. This is a much more trustworthy source than Radical Man or whatever it was.
Totally radical dude.
Totally Radical Dude.
Okay, this isn't that long. I'm trying to find like the thing because I don't want to just plagiarize how stuff works.
Yeah.
The fuck? Just give me like in bold. Just give me a thesis.
Well, here, as you're reading through that, I'll just say that I need to find a summer hat because this is a winter hat and it gets very, very sweaty under here during the hot days because it's like made of wool and it's got this lining to keep things warm. But because I have a really tiny baby head, no hats that I can find other than this one fit me. And the only reason this one fits me is because it's adjustable, so you can like really get it tight around the head. Every other hat is just, it engulfs me like I'm a child. So that's what I'm dealing with.
I found the thing, but
Yeah.
my suggestion to you finding a summer hat is just,
Don't.
not wearing a hat.
I know. I know.
I don't even, what the hell even is a summer hat?
It's just this, but without, that's not
okay.
that's not wool,
see
and
what
it's
you mean.
not, yeah.
I also have a theory that is not your only hat. You have at least 20 of that exact hat.
I don't. I do have one of these in navy, but I've never worn it because it's too saturated. Yeah, it's weird. I gotta
see.
wash it and get some of the color out.
So I found it. It apparently comes from taking your hat off or wearing a hat indoors or like at the dinner table or something being considered offensive comes from, in the olden days, knights, if they kept their helmets on, they would be considered aggressive or being offensive. So it just rooted from that.
Oh, they're literally
Strangely.
being offensive.
Yeah. It was like, why you got I want to see your eyes, boy.
That's funny. That's
So,
neat.
I don't know why that
Neat
line
history
of
fact.
thinking went
Why that
from-
just continued forward.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same.
Hats.
It's like the same reason why we do all the stupid things. Like shaking hands is just to show that we're unarmed. But like,
Oh, really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah.
I guess you don't really think about stuff like that.
No, it's just a thing that you do.
Yeah. It's just like,
No.
it's basically genetically put in you at
Yeah.
this point.
Pretty
Shouldn't be
much.
here. I'm gonna move this.
Okay.
I feel like it's just in the way.
Do people not like the hat?
What?
I'm self-conscious about it now that you're telling me not to wear it.
I'd say it's about 50-50.
50-50?
There's some camps on hat side. I feel like your Twitter is a bit biased
Sure.
because I've only seen like maybe one or two people on there.
I tweeted a thing earlier yesterday or today, I can't remember when, about like somebody saying that my hat was like atrocious or something, and I was like, drag them, my children, and then a couple people were like,
Wait.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Because when you're posting pictures of yourself, specifically with you being really into your hat, nobody wants to ruin your day.
Yeah.
Until someone finally comes along and says it, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Yeah, maybe we don't like the hat."
What's wrong with the hat?
I don't have like an argument prepared,
Yeah.
but I just personally not a big fan of the hat.
Why?
I don't know. That's what just rubs me the wrong. I think most of it is that you're too into it. You need to chill out about the hat. Is most of what I'm saying.
I like the hat.
I think the hat's fine, but when every day you post about the hat being a sexual desire,
I don't post about it every day.
it seems like it.
It's just because that's what my Twitter name is currently.
Maybe don't.
But it's joke.
But it's a joke that I feel like has gone on for too long.
I don't even post about it that much.
You posted about it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and then in between, when was the last time I posted about it before then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You posted about this hat though. Maybe
don't
post about it.
I just post pictures of myself in the hat.
Right.
But I don't make the hat the centerpiece. Usually I'm talking about shirts or whatever.
I just feel like you need to chill with the hat.
I'm not doing anything with the hat other than wearing it.
I feel like you have relations with that hat. That would be considered unjust.
Not in certain states.
So you admit it.
What? I didn't check Texas's bylaws yet, so I'm not prepared to admit anything.
That's why it's a sex hat. Because you literally fuck it.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Scott won't fuck a monkey, but he'll fuck a hat. It's hypocritical on
You
every
remember
stage.
too much about this podcast.
I remember fucking monkeys because it was funny. You remember that was a thing. Fine. I'm starting to think you have dementia.
Yeah.
Because you don't even remember just vague things that we talk about.
Why would I remember vague things?
No, I mean like the large idea of what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I've said this before on the podcast, but I can't stress enough how little I remember anything that we talk about.
The other day on Twitter, you were confused when someone brought up Cyber Hitler.
Yes.
Which we've talked about at least 4 times on different podcasts now.
But it's not that I was confused just then. I was confused all the other times you brought it up.
But did you complete, because the way that I got from the tweet seemed like you for the first time had heard the word cyber.
No. So it was, I forgot that we ever talked about it on the podcast, and then you mentioned it as like a reoccurring bit and other things, or like other people have asked questions about it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, I remember those questions, but I don't remember where Cyber Hitler started or whatever. So I was just really confused.
I remember the context of why it started, but I don't remember who started it. Yeah. Owen seems to think he started it.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe he could be. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't remember the specifics.
It's up for grabs now. If you guys want to call dibs on creating Cyber Hitler,
that makes more sense to me then.
I wouldn't though. It's not a great claim to fame.
Oh, creating actual Cyber Hitler?
Yeah, no.
Probably don't do that. Well, but Cyber Hitler's a nice dude.
Okay.
It does. See, that's the trade-off, right? Because we get a really cool dude, but also all the Jews are dead now.
So
it's a bit of a trade-off.
Kind of even, I think.
Kind of even.
I'm kidding. Please don't.
We want Cyber Hitler or all the Jews dead.
Oh, it's a hard one.
There's too much anti-Semitism in this podcast.
There really is. We gotta not do that. Do we want to get into things or?
Sure.
Oh, I wanted to bring up a story really quickly, and I wanted to kind of ask if you've had a similar experience or not, or know of anybody who has a similar experience. I don't know. Yesterday, I ordered pizza, and my pizza delivery driver recognized me from the YouTube.
That's horrifying.
I knew you would say that it was horrifying. For me, it was kind of it came at me in waves. I was like, oh, that's neat that somebody actually recognizes me in real life from the YouTube stuff. That's really cool. But then and he was a sweet dude. Really great, really nice. But as soon as he was leaving and I shut my door, I was like, oh, he knows where I live now.
Yeah. Yeah. You sit with that one for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, pizza man. How are you?
How you doing?
Can you deliver pizza to me for free? Then you'll know.
He didn't deliver it to me for free. I still paid for it.
No, I wasn't implying that. I was just asking him if he could deliver pizza to me for free.
Okay.
God, don't assume.
You said, can you deliver pizza to me for free? As if...
Oh, I just put weird inflection on things sometimes. No, that happened to Drake, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Drake talked about how he was like a door-to-door window salesman, which is the weirdest profession that I could think of, other than a door-to-door salesman.
Whoa.
Have you seen that? What was it? The what are they called? 5-second films or 10-second films or whatever. The old YouTube channel that was really big.
Yeah,
and they would
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was just someone gets a knock at the door, and then they open their door, and it's another door, and then they knock, and then there's can I help you with a new door?
Nice. Door salesman.
It's good stuff.
Don't be scared. It's okay. Did you know that Loki fucked a horse and then had a child?
Yes. I think I've talked about it before.
Learned about that today.
Wasn't the child the giant snake that surrounds?
No, that was the child of him and a giant.
Okay.
but it was just an actual horse that he had sex with.
I think I've talked about that before on like a really old video, or even if I didn't talk about it, I definitely learned it because I was talking about the 9 realms, and there's the snake that goes around Earth or whatever, and I was like, what's this?
Gundur.
Yeah, I was like, what's this ordeal that I looked into Loki's children.
Yeah, I don't fully understand.
He's not a great father, is he?
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, he doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah, he's not really there, is he?
No. He's just up to some shit. He has sex with a lot of animals, it seems.
Yeah.
I don't know what he gets up to. Loki's just sort of a silly boy. Mm-hmm. He's just out there. So I'm talking about like actual Loki, by the way, not Marvel Loki.
Animals are fine, but hats aren't.
But also, yes, in Infinity War, Loki does fuck a horse.
Spoilers, by the way. It was really weird for them to open the movie that way.
Yeah, it's really like I don't know how they got the PG-13 rating too, because they showed everything.
Was full penetration.
Like, and it wasn't just
sure.
like horse sex happening on screen. It was horse sex, but Loki's head, like Tom Hiddleston's head on one of the horses.
And it was really interesting because like that was the part of the movie where they handed out VR goggles to everyone in the audience.
Yeah,
so you could really experience it while you were in there.
And it was horses that handed them out.
Yeah, of course.
So you could really.
It was thematic. You know, they didn't want to break the immersion.
Everything was fully in there. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole movie.
Yeah, that was it. That was like 3 hours of that. Mm-hmm. Which is impressive. 3 hours,
honestly.
You know?
Could go for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And the Avengers 4, the title has been revealed. It's the I think Sleipnir is the name of the horse.
Sure.
The baby horse. Mm-hmm. So it's Avengers Sleipnir, and it's just about the baby horse.
Just
about Loki's kid
growing up on a farm.
On a farm, that horse became super horse. What's the deal with comic book characters? I say
Comet
that
the super horse.
Yeah, what's the deal with comic book characters having relations with horses?
I don't know. Other than Comet and Loki, what's
just sort of a trend?
Is there more? But also, that I don't know of?
I don't know. I'm sure maybe
Wonder Woman had
in Shrek. Didn't someone fuck a horse in Shrek? In Shrek 2?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Who turned into a horse? Someone Donkey turned into a horse.
Did he? Yeah, that's right. He turned into a horse.
Donkey fucked a dragon. Why doesn't anyone talk about that?
And they had weird
offspring.
interspecies children. It's very weird. No, I think Wonder Woman, there was one story where like Wonder Woman's invisible jet was originally a Pegasus or something like that.
Oh.
And then it transformed into like a jet or something. I can't remember.
Why'd they make it a jet? That's weird.
It was old. Yeah, wouldn't it make more sense for them
a horse or a chariot?
Exactly.
Or something?
Yeah. Like I would love Wonder Woman to ride around on a Pegasus. That would be awesome.
That's Have you read the I'm really into Norse mythology now. I'm the Norse guy.
Sure.
Norse
playing God of War 4 or whatever.
Well, like okay, so I think I've always subconsciously been into Norse mythology, but it's never manifested in a way, like nobody's ever shown it to me in a way that made me really interested. And God of War is what like awoke in that. Because I've always super been into Loki. Yeah. Like regardless of being into comics or not, I've just been like, hey, Loki looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't really appreciate Marvel Thor until I played God of War. Because I was like, oh, I actually really like Norse mythology, so I've been getting into it a lot lately.
I like horse mythology.
Horse mythology.
Yeah, personally.
Well, that's sort of a subsection.
Yeah,
it's Norse mythology. Just about the horses.
The horse of Norse, of course.
Oh shit. But do you know about the creation myth of Norse mythology?
Maybe.
It's very good.
Yeah, I learned a lot of creation myths in college. So I don't know.
Like Christianity.
Yeah, because it was a Bible college, but we learned about a bunch of other ones as well, just to kind of
I was reading because I'm reading through Neil Gaiman's
a lot of people are.
It's very good. I got it like 2 years ago or like last year, and it came out 2 years ago. I got it last year, and I hadn't read it because I got it because at the time I liked Norse mythology, not as much as I do now. Sure. And I like Neil Gaiman, so I just picked it up. And I'm so glad that I had it, because otherwise I wouldn't have an outlet to be like, I need to know more.
It's called tangential learning.
I started reading it last night, and I was on the creation myth, and I was like, this is so goddamn cool. Yeah. And then I sat up and thought to myself, wait a second. the Bible is the same way, but people believe it too much. Because the Bible is cool. It has a lot of cool stuff in it.
It sure
but
does.
It's just like, I feel like the Bible is too focused on actually believing it. Which I'm not saying if you believe in the stuff in the Bible, you're bad or wrong or anything. But like, people accept it as truth without questioning it a lot. Which I'm sure people did with Norse mythology, like in the Viking era.
Sure,
but just nobody does that anymore.
I think the difference between the two is that with Norse mythology, with
horse mythology.
Thank you. The difference is like that was extremely fantastical.
Yeah.
To the point where no rational person today would be like, oh,
yeah, today for sure.
But whereas
that makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Because like in 1,000 years, maybe we'll be saying the same thing about the Bible.
Yeah, maybe. I think the problem is, I don't want to say problem because that's gonna make people feel like
the thing.
I guess the thing is like with Christianity and the Bible and whatnot, is that there are enough elements that feel real that the fantastical stuff doesn't super overshadow it to
especially
the point where,
like the New Testament is set in such a recent time in terms of like the history of us. So it's definitely the Bible, and religions like it are religions like the Bible, like Catholicism, Christianity.
And a lot of the like the miracles or whatever, a lot of it especially in the New Testament kind of happen to people's subjective views of the world rather than like, then a giant god, started destroying. It was more just like, and then he couldn't see, then he could see or whatever. And it's just like, well, you just had to take his word for it, I guess.
It's almost like the thing that I find really interesting about the Bible specifically and the New Testament, well, the Old Testament has some shit that goes down. Like the Old Testament is very much like, here's the creation myth that is sort of, people nowadays are like, no, it didn't actually happen like that. It's just a representation of that. Even though back then they totally believed the world was created in 7 days. And then there's also stuff like Noah's Ark that doesn't make too much sense. But then like the New Testament is pretty grounded, right?
Yes.
The craziest thing that happens in the New Testament, besides Revelations, which is fucking awesome, is a guy comes back to life and then goes up to heaven and takes someone with him. Sure. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much just like, here's this Jesus guy who may or may not be God. Let's talk about him for a bit.
It's interesting. I mean, I do see that's the thing you're talking about, like the Old Testament stuff being like, really crazy. And then like today, a lot of people try and rationalize it and be like Noah's Ark, for example, you're talking about. Like, I think from what I learned when I was in Bible college was that it wasn't that the entirety of the earth was flooded, but more so it just seemed that way because a large portion of the where people were living was flooded. And so
that's the thing, right?
So it's like their world was flooded, but not the world.
And I feel like we're going down a path with like modern religions where people are starting to excuse stuff from their literal, like their Bibles in every sense of the word, whereas in the past, when those were created, or when people really believed that like that was super the majority, everyone took it word for word that everything here is true. Like, yes, the entire world was flooded. Yes, the world was created in 7 days and all this stuff. But everyone nowadays is like, it's all symbolism, but it wasn't written that way.
But who knows? Maybe it was. I mean, this is kind of clever, and it was actually something that I really believed in. And if somebody believed this, like to justify a lot of the symbolism or whatever in the Bible, then like I kind of don't fault them for it because it's what I believe. But the idea is that the cultures at the time were such a way that like God had to say these things or do these things or command these things that he definitely wouldn't do today, because that's just what the culture was. So he was trying to like meet the people halfway and be like, I could tell you to do this, but you might not care or you might not follow it because it's so different from the culture that you have. So I'm going to tell you to kind of inch your way to where I want you to be. So yes, I'm going to tell you to do things that I don't actually believe modern day, but I'm trying to get you to where I want you to be, sort of a thing. And I always found that kind of interesting, and it's like a clever kind of twist on it, but it is very much like it being apologetic for it, just being like, you know, when you see something you don't like, it's like, well, he didn't really mean that. He was just trying to meet them halfway, kind of meet them where they were, and try and get them to where he wanted them to be. Which is, that's how I interpreted a lot of the stuff that I didn't agree with. Because I was like,
that's like the biggest, the first thing when I was were you, did you just go to a Bible college, or were you raised Catholic?
Yeah, no, I was raised Christian for sure.
Yeah, because so I was as well, and I went to private schools, Catholic schools, my whole life, except for the 1 year of the it was like 6 months of online high school I did. But the first thing when I started to question like religion, I was like, because I believed in evolution, but I also believed in religion. Yeah. And who's calling me? Oh, it's Benny. I can't talk right now, Benny. I don't have any work to do. Why is he calling me? The thing that I was like, oh, I got it. I figured it out. I figured out how evolution and the creation myth of Christianity happened at the same time. Because I really liked the idea, because it's just cool that humans have shared ancestors with apes, and they evolved from you know, a common ancestor. I thought that was really neat as a kid, and I still do, because, you know, it's evolution is true, science is neat. But
it's a theory, okay? I'm just kidding.
No, but the thing that I was like apologizing for the Bible, which I feel like a lot of people do these days, is that when God made the world with when he put all the humans, or he put like 2 of each species on Earth or whatever. Sure. Adam and Eve and everything else. Not Adam and Steve.
Let's get into that.
Get them at it. And when they, because they don't really explain that much in the Bible, because God created just Adam and Eve, and then at some point Adam and Eve go to a neighboring village where there are plenty of humans. Yes. And they never really explain that. The way that I explained it was that, in my head, was that it was just a village full of apes that God, like, put his hand on and was like, evolve. Yeah. And then suddenly there were humans there. Sure. Which, like, I don't know why I had to describe it in that way, because he's God. He could have just put more humans there. Sure. But they didn't ever say that.
Could have done that. Like Adam and Eve were like the beta tests of humans.
Yeah. And they fucking sucked.
Yeah. Boy, they had some bugs to work out, didn't they?
But yeah, that was the first line of thinking in my head that led me down the path of being like, maybe this isn't true. Yeah. Maybe there's more to question here. Yeah. But so basically what I'm saying is, if you're questioning a religion that your parents forced on you or you were grown up in, don't stress about it too much.
Yeah, man.
Just think, have an open mind.
I mean, I do think whether you are religious or you aren't, questioning it is a big part of it. I mean, yeah. I know a ton of people who are very religious, but they will still question things. They're not going to blindly follow.
Because I think, and I want to say, like, the time where I was questioning it for like a brief period between like 8th and 9th grade, where like the tail end of, like, the middle of when I was in 9th grade is when I remember I walked downstairs and was like, I talked to my mom. I was like, hey, I don't think I believe in this stuff anymore. And that was a conversation.
Oh man, that's a conversation I've never had with my parents.
I had to get it out because it was eating me alive.
I think they picked up on it though.
It was mostly because, well, did they make you go to church every week?
Yeah, but I went to, well, not really. I mean, when I was growing up, yes, but I didn't really start to. I mean, I went to Bible college, so like I didn't really start to question it until around that time.
Oh, gotcha.
But even still, like, I wanted to go because I played in the band, but that's really the only reason I was going, because I just liked playing music.
That was my thing with the church thing, was it's not that I didn't want to go, partially because I was a little kid and I didn't want to go. Sure. But also when it was a time around 9th grade, one of the reasons I told my mom was because I felt sort of strange, like, going to the church and especially since if I kept going and doing all the things that I didn't believe in, I would feel like I was disrespecting the people who actually believed in it. Yeah. You know, because I would, and if I didn't do those things and just went to the church anyway, they'd be cool with that, but people would probably give me weird looks.
Yeah.
And be like, the hell's what's going on with Dylan? Why isn't he like going up and doing communion and everything? But yeah, so I told her that, and but before then, before I was like completely in my mind was done questioning, that I think was when my beliefs were the strongest, because I was questioning things, and I was actually I was relating to the things that I was forced upon, like that were forced upon me in a way that was my own, as opposed to just being like, oh, well, this is how you live life. You go to church every Sunday, you take communion, you believe in this stuff, you pray to God, all that stuff. And then it was like, I wonder what this stuff is, and you know, all that shit. It was good times. Yeah. There was the point where like I started really questioning, I think, was in 7th grade when we went to a retreat. And I don't know why this episode is suddenly about religion.
I just want to break it up really quickly by talking of just really, did you ever have a mental image of what God looked like when you like were praying to him? Because I did, and it's not what you think. I promise you, it's not at all what you think.
I don't think I ever thought about it. Yeah. But like, I don't know, I always picture just like big bearded boy.
So I didn't have any of that imagery.
Sure.
So, and I don't know why, but my mental image of God was the Hamburglar.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Fucking why?
I don't know.
Was he like in a cloak or anything?
No, just the Hamburglar.
Just the Hamburglar.
Does the Hamburglar have a cape? I can't remember.
He's got a knapsack.
Okay, I might have given him a cape or something.
The Hamburglar.
Look, even God in my mind was dressed like he's got the mask and a cape. He was just like a superhero, but like, but he was the Hamburglar. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why.
What if he actually looks like the Hamburglar and you've uncovered the secrets
I
of the
would
universe?
love that. What if? Do you think McDonald's is secretly like a religious organization? All of their buns are his body.
Every time it's not pink sludge, it's not horse meat, it's not any of that. It's God meat.
It's God meat.
It's just meat from the hamburger.
That's not very good, I think.
Slurp.
But anyway, so I just wanted to break that up.
Yeah, so I wanted to describe like the moment of me having like an actual religious experience, and it's like the one time I've ever had one, and now I sort of rationalize it as something else, but it was, we were doing this thing on a retreat where it's really strange when you think about it, just like disassociated from yourself, but there was this sermon that this priest was doing, and the point was he was like chanting something, I don't know, we would all go up and grab like a candle, and then we would go to a wall. It was a room it was just a square room, and we would go to a wall, stand as close to the wall as possible without burning ourselves with the candle, and just close our eyes and sit in silence. And that's supposed to be like a really easy way to connect with God and have a spiritual experience. And I actually felt something.
Sure.
Now, at the time, because, you know, I was basically in a cult surrounded by people telling me that if you feel anything, that's you connecting with God. Yeah. That's what I thought it was. So I was like, oh, cool. And that sort of revitalized my faith. Yeah. Because at the time I was sort of questioning, but then I went to that retreat.
I feel this burning sensation. Yeah. I think it's God.
But I mean, now I rationalize that as just, it was really quiet in that room and my eyes were closed and I was forced to sort of clear my mind. I was meditating. You
were meditating,
not connecting with anything, but maybe I was. I might be wrong. I'm probably going to hell. But
I want to talk about that in a second. But yeah,
okay. But yeah, so that was sort of, and that was like when I came back, it was around when I was questioning. I was like, hey, Mom, I've been questioning my faith for a while, but going to that retreat really helped. So make me go to more retreats. And then I think that was like a couple weeks later, I continued questioning, and my mom was like, hey, I found this retreat, and I was like, oh no. So that's when I was like, hey, listen.
JK.
Just, yeah, I'm done. What were you gonna say about hell?
Oh, that's not that. But I was gonna talk about like, so a couple different things. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
If the Hamburglar's God, who's the devil?
Probably Grimace, right?
All right, cool.
Are we on the same page there? Yeah. All right, cool.
Or Ronald.
Or Ronald himself.
I'd say Ronald.
Probably
actually.
Ronald.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Grimace is his like his lackey.
Yeah, for sure. Grimace is like the demon that does all the work.
He does the traveling.
Exactly. No, so I went to, I may have taught, I feel like I've told this story on some podcast in the past, but like I went to, my friend, I won't name names, was very religious, but he was like one of my good friends at the time, very religious. And they had like some sort of big event at his church, and he invited me to do it. And it was like the first half of the night was a lot of fun. It was like kind of like you go out on the town and do these scavenger hunts to find, like, get pictures of certain things and items and whatever. It's a really cool idea. I like doing that kind of stuff. But then the second half of the night was like this big kind of religious thing where they brought someone on stage and they started like speaking in tongues, and like they started and they started like setting people up to, like, you know, people would faint over when they felt like the power of whatever. And so, and like I was just so not feeling it that I just like took out a pen and started playing like tic-tac-toe on my hand with like this other kid next to me.
I was about to say, with yourself?
I did it with this other kid next to me, and we were the only two who were just like, I don't really get it. But everyone, like dozens of other people in the room were all like crying and like fainting and like whatever, and people were like, you know, shouting in tongues, and I was like, this is just weird.
Yeah.
I don't, this is not what I signed up for. We were having a fun scavenger hunt time. But like talking about, like, you know, religious experiences like that, you know, I may have mentioned this on like a previous podcast too, but like the idea that, you know, people can rationalize faith because they feel some sort of religious experience through them is everybody who experiences some sort of religion has some sort of religious experience. So if you justify your own belief by saying, well, I feel it and I believe it to be true, then you're saying that everyone else who disagrees with you is having false religious experiences.
Yeah.
And like that kind of logic is weird to step into when you're like, no. Mine's the real one though.
Right.
And everyone else's is false because I feel it more than they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry, Benny's not understanding that I'm recording a podcast right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to say, like, sort of a disclaimer. If you do, like, feel religious experiences and have strong faith in something, more power to you.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here. I don't want people to walk away thinking that we're trying to make fun of anybody.
No, we're not. My mom is still very religious, and I've had conversations with her before of like why I don't believe those things and why she does, and I've got to the root of it, and she, like, basically the only reason that she is still religious is because that's how she was raised and that's how she copes with things.
Yeah.
Like the meditation thing that I was saying earlier, her form of meditation is praying, which totally go for it. It's a quiet experience that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for any sort of pragmatic sort of solution. If that's what helps you get you through your day, your life, then go for it. You know, I think I was lucky enough to be raised in a church environment that wasn't extremist in any situation. Like the story that I told was about my friend's church, right? That was definitely not my experience growing up. My church experience was very much just like the generic, hey, sorry, hit the table. It was very much just, we had an expression that I think comes from some movie that I've never seen. It was just ELE, everybody love everybody. That was it. That's just the general thing that I grew up on.
That's the thing that I still agree with on most religions. Is like, people, and that's fucking, so many people don't understand that most of the Bible, yes, there are some sketchy parts in the Bible, but
sure is.
The message you should
the overall meta narrative is just like,
just don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
just be cool and chill. And the people who are like screaming, "You're gonna go to hell because you kiss a guy" or some shit, it's like fuck off. Do you think if you believe in this God who loves everyone unconditionally, do you think he wants you to be screeching at other humans that they're gonna go to hell?
Also, if they are gonna, I just don't understand the logic behind that. Like, let's say, benefit of the doubt, they're right. like that you know,
Yeah.
gay people are gonna go to hell or whatever.
Sure. That everything
What
in
is
the
their
Bible is true.
screaming gonna do?
Exactly.
Like, what is that gonna do?
You're gonna do
like,
shit.
is that helping anybody?
And
no.
honestly, if you want to fearmonger people, being quiet about it is way scarier.
Yeah,
like
for
just
sure.
dropping it on. Like if you're friends with, if you're really religious and you believe that if you're just, I don't know why we're picking on gay people, but if you believe,
When are we
that-
not gay people?
Fuck them. But if you're really religious and you have a friend that's gay and you truly believe that because they're gay they're gonna go to hell, if you just drop on them one day that like, yeah, but you're gay, so you're probably gonna go to hell, and that's all you say, like with the happiest of smiles on your face, fuck,
Dude, that's scary.
That's some chilly
don't
shit.
feed them ammunition, Dylan. that's rough.
That's some spooky shit. Don't do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like
Don't do either of that.
Yeah, it's screaming or just what, I don't know, man.
Just leave people alone.
just keep it
Let
to
people
yourself.
believe in what they
Just
want to believe.
do what they do.
That's the other thing about, like, I'm not an atheist. I don't really label myself as anything, but if I had to, I'd say agnostic.
Sure.
But that's, a lot of people think that atheists are just mean, which they're not.
That's the problem that I have, is that like realistically I would label myself as an atheist, but I don't want to, because I grew up in the church environment where atheist really just means butt.
Yeah, just big,
yeah.
big butt.
Like in Christian media, atheists are always dicks.
Atheist is a bad word.
Yeah,
in
it's
Christian media,
something
for
that's
sure.
like that's just inside, that's internalized within me, that atheist equal. So like even now when I you know could theoretically label myself as an atheist,
Yeah.
I don't want to, and even when I see people
Right.
who actively do, I'm just like,
right?
yeah.
It's a bit strange because well, there's also like
that's the Christian propaganda that
Right.
that wormed its way inside of
there's
me.
just because the atheist is just, it's not even really the denial that, well, it is sort of the denial that God exists, but it's not
Sure.
like that your specific God doesn't exist. It's just
like in general.
yeah, we're not convinced.
Yeah.
So we believe, and I say we, I'm not an atheist, but
Right.
they believe that there isn't a God.
Sure.
And they're not, and believe is even a bad word to use there, because what the fuck?
I didn't know his head came off.
Oh, does it? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you broke it.
No, it's still fine. I just didn't know it came.
Interesting.
To anyone listening, I pulled the Chewbacca's head off of the Star Wars
Decapitated
pen that I
the
have.
pen.
But yeah, no, I guess that's just how it is. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, the fucking, what was I saying? Yeah, so the believe is even a bad word to use for atheists, because they don't even they don't believe anything. It's the lack of belief, basically, so that they just don't, they're not convinced.
Yeah.
An agnostic, on the other hand, which is what, if someone had a gun to my head and was like, "What religion are you?
Yeah.
Or what do you believe?"
That's what I kind of go with.
I would say agnostic, just because agnosticism is basically like, there could be. I don't know.
Agnosticism is more just like, how would we know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If there wasn't, how would we know?
It's basically like keeping an open mind, because I like the idea that there could be like a pantheon of gods out there.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that there could be one God out there. I like the idea that we're just so special that we've made it here ourselves, just because of, a bunch of fucking happenstance in the universe.
Sure.
I like all those ideas. With both of the God ideas that I put forward, I would prefer them to be like other alien cultures, or like fourth dimensional beings.
Sure.
I think that'd be real cool, or scary. Either way.
I like the idea of there's a Star Trek episode, and I guess Prometheus did this too, but to a worse extent. There's a Star Trek episode where they discover that all alien life, at least all humanoid alien life, was descendants from one prime culture that looked throughout the universe and discovered that they were alone. So they kind of like sent their own civilizations out, or they sent their own, I don't know, they just split, and then over a long period of time they evolved into different, humans, Klingons, Vulcans, that sort of thing. And I think that would be a cool idea if we were either a part of that, or if we were that. Yeah, that would be neat. Eventually anyway. Yeah.
If we don't fucking ruin the world.
Yeah.
Flee it. I do like that idea of like different, because like like gravity and shit is different on Mars. So if we eventually colonize Mars, humans will probably be different.
Sure, after a longer period of time. Yeah, sure.
They'll jump higher.
They'll be Martians.
They'll be Martians, exactly. Do you want to close it out with a question? Quick little.
Yeah, sure.
Boy. Get not a super open-ended one because we're at 50 minutes.
Okay, well this one comes from Dennis.
What?
Do you not want to do a Dennis one?
So he's aware that the podcast is happening.
I know. Did we get any takers on who wants to do it?
I don't know if that's gone up yet. What the hell is that?
Sorry, that's just I guess my phone or whatever. Dennis is the reason the podcast isn't on iTunes, everybody.
Is Dennis the reason?
Yes.
Have you asked him about it since 2 weeks ago?
No.
You piece of shit. I paid for it again. I've spent $45 on this so far, Scott.
You have Dennis's number, don't you? Or you have a way to contact him if you're so worried about it.
Look, all right. I explained this on a stream the other day. The reason I haven't just straight up asked Dennis about it is because at that point you are doing basically nothing for this podcast.
I'm fine with that.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do everything. You're half a host.
I guess.
Do something, please.
All right. I'll figure it out.
I'm even paying for it. Do you want to keep paying for it and then I'll talk to Dennis?
I'll figure it out.
Ask his question. What do you
want,
All right,
Dennis? This is Dennis's question. He says, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, yes or no?
Who's that?
Do you know who Jonathan Taylor Thomas is?
It rings a bell.
He voiced young Simba in Lion King, and he's probably most notable for being one of the sons on Home Improvement.
Oh. Is he a little shit?
No, he's not. What's his name? Mark? No.
I was just asking in general.
Oh, no, he was like a cool one. I think he was the middle child. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Yeah. What else has he been in? Those are the only two things I know him from.
It sort of sucks that like all of the images are him as a kid because he's like not a kid anymore.
No, I don't think he's done anything in a while. He's living off that Lion King money.
IMDb. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and say yo, a combination of yes and no.
Ooh.
He was in Last Man Standing.
Oh, hey, that's the other Tim Allen show.
Yeah. For 4 episodes.
Oh, that's rad.
Randy.
Is that show still going on?
No, it ended 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. I kind of dug that show a little bit.
Really?
It was just so simple.
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great, but it was I don't know, there was something cozy about it that reminded me of like old school, like 90s.
Foot?
Is it?
You trying to play footsie with me, Scott?
I didn't feel anything.
You're like way over my personal bubble.
Sorry.
Like
well, all I know about Jonathan Taylor Thomas is he's gonna be a mighty king, so enemies beware.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's from Toy Story with Tim Allen.
I forgot Tim Allen is in Toy Story.
They made a joke about that on Home Improvement. There's a Halloween episode where like I think one kid showed up trick-or-treating as Buzz Lightyear and another one trick-or-treated as like Simba from Lion King or something. They made a joke about it. I can't remember.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Meta jokes. I like them. Mm-hmm. What's this poop water you're drinking?
This is a iced caramel macchiato. They put a bubble lid on it. I guess they were out of regular lids.
Oh.
Because the bubble lids are only for if you have it with whipped cream, and I don't like whipped cream on... I mean, I like whipped cream, but I just don't. It's just too much. It's too much for me.
Maybe they put the whipped cream in there and then realized that you said no whipped cream, and they were like, shit. So they scooped it on out.
I watched them make it.
Oh, you stared daggers.
No, it's the way that it's the bar's design. I was just waiting, and you could see him do it. But yeah.
Did you walk to the Starbucks?
I did.
And then you took a lift from there?
Mm-hmm.
What was your lift person saying? Something about... Oh, yeah. What did they tell you to go do?
So many things. Like, I should have kept notes.
Yeah.
They were telling me... Because yesterday... we want to wrap up, don't we?
We got 7 minutes.
Okay. Yesterday I had like a free day. Like where I could have been uploading podcasts to something. But instead, I wanted to go to a mall. Just because I don't...
Let's go to the mall!
I haven't watched that show.
Well, at least you know what it's from.
Yeah, I know where it's from. But
so I'm like a crazy person.
Yeah. So I wanted to go to a mall just because I haven't been to a mall in a while. I have one near me.
Go to a mall.
I do. I know that you hate
a fine mall at least.
I know that you don't care for malls.
Malls are fine. They just have a weird atmosphere.
I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I do too. It's just like, I don't know. Continue.
Yeah. But like, so I have a mall near me.
Mm-hmm.
Mall. It's just a movie theater, and the rest of the mall's shut down.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I don't
think I've ever been to that one.
Yes. So I've only ever been at night, and so to see a movie, and so I just thought that I went so late that all the stores shut down.
So you went to it expecting a mall?
I went to it during the day.
That's so sad.
To see what the mall was like, and it was just nothing for like 2 levels, and then the top level was movie theater. And I wish I thought of this joke, but Rod from RKVC thought of it before I did, where he was saying that it looked like I was the survivor from Thanos snapping his fingers in the mall. I was the one.
Spoilers for Infinity War, I guess.
The snapture. Or the snappening, whatever we're calling it these days.
The snappening.
I like the snapture.
I like snap, crackle, pop. You're all dead.
Okay. But yeah, so then I was just trying to find a different mall, and I went to the Galleria, which is the first time I'd ever been there, and it's huge.
Yeah, it's a very big mall.
It's awesome. I want to go there again.
You can go today.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, because last recording session, you wanted to go to thrift stores.
Yeah.
And I got paid, so
okay.
We can go to thrift stores.
Dude, let's go. I got nothing going on today.
Yeah. Neither do I. I have like
let's
really
do it.
Small work week, so
yeah, I went there, and I was telling my Lyft driver about it, because Cinco de Mayo's coming up at the time of this recording.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "You got to go to all these places because it's gonna be popping and crazy." And what do you have?
Did you hear the Arrested Development news?
About
that's today. About they posted a big huge news thing.
Oh man, no, I missed everything.
So they tweeted out the creator. I think Mitch Hurwitz is his name. He tweeted out this long, it was 2 Twitter pictures of just like text, and basically Arrested Development season 5 is coming out very soon. He said so soon that when we announce it, you'll be like, why did we already not know about this?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess like within the month we'll have it.
Cinco de Cuatro.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is he also on, I guess today, tomorrow, right? Is Cinco de Cuatro? Yeah, tomorrow is Cinco de Cuatro. They're releasing a re-edited version of season 4 in the style of the first 3 seasons.
Oh.
So the thing that people criticize season 4 for mostly is that the style that they went with, which focusing on one character per episode.
Yes.
But they went in and re-edited it. From like a 13 episode season into a regular 22 episode regular time limit season.
Really?
In the style of the originals, and that comes out tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Whoa, that's exciting.
Tomorrow at the time of this recording, by the way.
So you should already be watching it. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm so pumped.
Oh,
it's called
excited.
the remix edition or something.
That's fun.
I'm pumped.
I love that. But yeah, so my Lyft driver was telling me about all these places. Apparently there's another mall that I need to go to that has some really cool stuff. I think it's called, was it like North Park or something?
Yeah, North Park's good.
Yeah.
You want to see a sad mall that's still operating? We go to Vista Ridge.
Oh no,
it's a fucking depressing mall. I went to Vista Ridge once. We could close out with this one with this story. I went to Vista Ridge Mall once, and it is just like the saddest mall in the world. It's only still around because it has a movie theater attached to it.
Yeah, that's the same as the
AMC attached to it.
Yeah,
and they have these things in malls, in certain malls, that I don't really understand, that you may have seen before. They're like little animal scooters.
Yeah, okay.
Where you can, they look like, like the horse rocking chairs, where like kids sit on and they just sort of rock on.
Yeah.
They're sort of like that, but different animals. Like you got like like a lion, a tiger,
sure,
a bear, oh my. And you pay a certain amount of money to get one, and then these kids just sort of ride around the mall with them. There's no limit. I think you just return it when you're done.
Well, all right.
Or scoot on out of there. I don't really know the
You're just take it for yourself, yeah.
But the one time I went to Vista Ridge Mall, and there were a couple of kids it was like 3 or 4 kids on that. And I was like the only one in the mall, except these kids and people in the movie theater. So I was just walking around, and then these fucking kids scoot up on me from behind and start circling me. as if they are sharks in the water.
You're in the wrong part of town, kid.
It was the scariest thing in the world. They were like devious, like laughing. They were like, like just circling me. It was.
Where did they learn that?
I don't know.
It's instinctual.
Felt like there's this Eric Andre bit. Do you watch the Eric Andre show?
No, I don't.
There's this bit where I forget who he had on the show, but Eric Andre was like, there was this little retarded girl in our neighborhood, and when she was young, I would get a bunch of my friends and we would circle her and all hold hands and go, nightmare, nightmare, nightmare.
That's horrible.
But that's what I felt like. I felt like I was that girl. I was just being tortured by these four small children circling me like they were about to pounce. It was so scary.
Oh, God. Well, then.
Anyway,
let's wrap it up. That's our podcast, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Or listening. I don't judge.
Who knows?
It's sort of hard to listen.
Boy, we got into a bunch of stuff.
Did we?
Today. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad.
Consensus on Michael Jackson?
He's dead.
I agree.
Cool. Some people don't.
Oh, that's true. Well, hey, if you want to follow us, follow this podcast on Twitter, do so. It's at @theonpod, where you can ask questions or advice with the hashtag #AskTheo. Also, this is up on your YouTube channel, so just subscribe. If this is for some reason the first video you're seeing on your channel, or you're just a regular viewer and you've never hit the subscribe button before.
That's actually because there's so little incentive to subscribe these days.
There's basically none.
I've found that I just I watch a couple people's videos and then they show up in my recommended and I keep watching their videos and I'm like, oh, I'm not subscribed.
No. It feels like the only incentive to subscribing is if you also want notifications, and then you can also hit the bell icon for that.
Do it anyway, because I like to see that big number grow.
It helps feed the ego. It's also something that other people look at for to
judge your worth.
Whether it's brands or other creators or just people inviting you to really cool parties that you need to have a certain number of subscriber count for.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Happens all the time, folks. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Scott Nicewonder, or just see more of my stuff at NerdSync on YouTube. I uploaded a video not too long ago about the philosophy of Thanos that's doing pretty well. People seem to like it, and I'm excited about that one.
Good 10 poll times.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter at Orem Alexander, but ideally I would be on Twitter at Orem. If you work for Twitter or know anyone that works for Twitter, oh God, I'm dying. Please let me know, because this motherfucker who hasn't tweeted in a decade is still holding on dearly to this account, and I want it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. What, do we have an outro?
I have to close the book or something, right?
Bingo bango, here comes the book.
For any of our viewers who have access to internet, we invite your comments.